Hey family, Uncle Brian here once again. Today, I really want to get to a very important topic that I've been wanting to discuss. It's constructive criticism and how people can't take it, especially Gen Z and millennials. Young millennials, Gen Zers, they have a huge problem with accepting constructive criticism without, getting super defensive about it. I had a friend who recently became a car salesman. This was probably one of their very first sales roles. And they asked me, how would they become a better salesman? Now, I've never sold cars. I was basically in a real estate and selling like marketing and stuff for these very, very large companies that I've worked with before, but now I just do kind of like a real estate thing. One of the main things that I told him was you're gonna have to trust your manager a little bit more for the constructive criticism side. He had a huge problem with his manager and how he was kind of grinding him down, asking him crazy questions, changing things here and there. And he pushed back a lot. I said, hey, dude, if you want to make some money, your manager, whatever he's telling you to do, you better start doing it fast. One thing about managers, their whole success is sometimes tied to your success. Like a student and a teacher. If the student isn't learning, the teacher looks like they can't teach, right? Oh, that's my laundry going off. I'm trying to make a quick video before I finish the rest of my laundry here. So one of the main things I wanted to talk about was getting defensive about constructive criticism and how you're gonna have to let that ego go. If you wanna jump in this field, the sales floor, make a lot of money, and you're new at this, you're gonna have to get your butt whooped all day long for weeks or even months before you see the fruits of your labor and all the skills that you've been perfecting. But first, if you're new, your manager has to kick your butt. And that's no ifs, ands, or buts. Get your butt kicked. Feedback does not equal a personal attack, right? If somebody's asking you, you have to change a little bit of your tone over the phone or so forth. Don't take that as a personal attack. A lot of these managers, they get paid a little bit more to make sure that you become the best that you can be, your best version of yourself. So don't take that as a personal attack. Their success is also tied to yours. If you look good, they look great. And that's the whole name of the game in this sales type of environment. So take it as lesson number one. These are not personal attacks. These are personal lessons so that you can make a lot more money and make the company a lot more money. When I was first, over the phones, doing phone sales and stuff, whether it's marketing, it doesn't matter. My manager used to tell me I sounded too monotone. I wasn't, my tone never changed. I kind of just talk like this. Hello, Mr. or Mrs. Prospect. Do you want to sign on the dotted line? Nobody wants to sign on the dotted line to a robot. You sound like a robot. What I needed to do was change my tone and my pitch and smile. Smile and dial. That's what people used to say. Smile and dial. Just you on the phone smiling, the energy that you put in to that little bit right there, it transfers over to the phone. The other person, the person on the other side of the phone can feel you smiling. And, somebody told me one time, you attract more bees with honey. So don't try to sound monotone or try to be a little bit more exciting, a little bit more upbeat. Hey, Mr. or Mrs. Prospect. Hey, I know you want to start marketing for your shop, your auto detailing shop. Hey, man, great, awesome. I could definitely help you. That sounds a lot better than, hey, do you want to make money? Yeah, me too. Let's go. Like, no, that doesn't work. Well, it does actually work, just not all the time. Another thing that I've been noticing lately with younger people, they are seeking validation more than the growth. The growth and the road to the growth is that's the journey. The validation from your peers, it's awesome. It's like, hey man, you just did that. Yeah, for sure. That's very uplifting. But what I actually seek is growth. I need to become a better salesman to make more money. Validation from my peers is awesome, but you need validation from your manager and the bosses. When the boss of the company looks at you like, hey, Brian, you're doing great. You've been hitting these KPIs and you're just blowing everybody out the water. That's what you should be looking for. Validation from the bosses, not your peers. Because most of the time, and this is speaking simply from like a sales point of view, not everybody on the sales floor is a great salesman, and some people are there just to, kind of hang out and make their minimum wage. I wasn't there to make minimum wage. I hope nobody is on a sales floor trying to make minimum wage, or that's their goal. The goal is to hit large commissions and hit KPIs, which means key performance indicators. So every sales company has KPIs, how they kind of put numbers to your name. If you make 100 outbound phone calls a day, you make 100 phone calls a day outbound, not coming in, but outbound. When bosses look at that, they could tell like, wow, you're really, really about your business. That's awesome. And that's one of the main things that a lot of young people, they really need to work on that. Don't seek validation from your peers, seek validation from the bosses. A lot of young people, they take this feedback or like a performance review as toxic cultures. When we're talking about a sales type of environment, we're talking about KPIs, key performance indicators. We want to see numbers. Numbers equal more numbers, like big money. So don't take all the feedback as if, it's somebody's attacking you. We're just trying to build you up to become a better, producer, better performer in this industry, which is a key factor to making a lot more money. Social media is kind of ruining people's like self-evaluation too. I see a lot of people sometimes post some things like, hey, I did it, I'm at this job, great. And they never actually listen to their boss and what they're actually trying to do. Let's have a real honest conversation. Who cares about the social media aspect unless that's what's bringing you more clients and making you more money? In all honest reality, that stuff doesn't matter. You need to have a honest conversation with your boss about how you're going to help the company make more money by being a better performer. If you're not the boss of the company and you're a salesman, or you're one of the guys or girls at the bottom, you're gonna have to fight your way back to the top. And the first, second, or third step is to taking the constructive criticism, applying it, and becoming a better person, a better performer in your sales role. Repeating mistakes happen all the time. It just kind of shows people that you haven't really learned. What you want to do is actually take those lessons that you learned, apply them all the time so that nobody can get back on your case about whatever it is. I used to be on the phone all day long. Some days I had great days, some days I didn't. Some days I was on the phone for hours at a time. Some days I was only on for 30 minutes. My manager would look at me and be like, Brian, you've been on the phone for 30 minutes. We're 7 hours into the day. What the heck are you doing? I wasn't applying a lot of those concepts. I was just kind of getting lazy sometimes. But those lazy days really costed me a lot. The days that I tried really, really hard, I was on the phone for hours trying to close deals left and right. Those were the days that the day passed by like that. 9-10 hour day felt like 30 minutes. When you're on the phone constantly and you're pushing that needle more towards that closing, making big bucks, man, it's very, very exciting when you're in that mode. When you get lazy and your heart's not in that type of sales environment anymore. That's what's actually creating toxic environments. You are creating a toxic environment, being lazy as heck. So try to uplift people around you to want to perform more, especially if you're in like a sales team. Your manager has like a team of however many people and you're kind of competing with other people. Man, you want to be up there with like the Michael Jordans and Scottie Pippens. You don't want to be down there like, oh man, you know, he's washed, as the young people would say, right? You want to keep up that energy and just perform a lot better. It'll work out for you in the long run, for sure. I know it. So just take the constructive criticism not lightly, but not to the heart. If you're really in this game to make a lot of money and keep your seat, when we're talking about sales, a lot of people will get fired. If you're, if you're mid, you'll keep your seat. If you're lower than that, you're going to get fired. If that's what you want to do, great. I'm not here to tell people to be mid. I'm here to tell people to be better than mid so that they can make a lot more money. So if you like this video, it was a quick video. I just wanted to make a quick video about it because it kind of came up on my mind really quick and I was doing my laundry. I just really hope that you guys found a little bit of important information throughout all of this that you could apply to your life and you can see the fruits of your labor come into fruition. Whether it's, actually, I'm just talking about money. So let's just make a lot of money by just being a better performer at your role.